Welcome back, everybody, to Tabletop Vibes. Today we are looking at Agent Who by Unique Board Games. Adam, what'd you think of the game?
Well, it's a lot of fun. It's set in like a 1960s Cold War era where you're an agent trying to identify other agents and point them out and find out who they are so that you can stop their probably evil plan. I would assume.
Stop their nefarious plan, but keep your own nefarious plan going.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta keep your...
Somebody's gotta win.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like... It's social deduction, right? So 2 to 5 players and probably around 30 to 40 minutes, 45 minutes maybe.
If you had a lot of people.
Yeah, if you have all 5, you're probably going to have a little bit more because it gets a little bit more crunchy. But it's a blast, so...
Yep, absolutely. So in this game, on your turn, it's a card game, so you're going to have a hand of cards. Yeah. Well, cards in front of you. On this game, you're going to start with one agent card. That is your secret agent, who you're trying to keep secret or try to figure out the other person. You're going to do a spying card. This is kind of your special one-time ability card.
Yeah.
And you're going to have 3 intel cards in front of you, and this makes up the core of the game of what actually you're going to be using each turn. Right. And these intel cards are really kind of cool. They have that 1960s vibe.
Yeah, you got like cards with like aliens on it, right? And it's not, don't get crazy, you'll see it on there. It's aliens, you got submarines, satellites,
you got like
Petri dish, I think it is, maps.
And you have like a document, a secret document. So they really kind of pull that feel of the Cold War.
Right, the theme comes through where you're like, okay.
So you have that iconography, and these are the symbols that you're going to try to be figuring out from your opponent, all to reveal what their agent code is. That's that code in the upper left-hand corner. Upper right-hand corner. There we go. Yeah, let's see if I can get it right. Yeah. So on your turn, you're going to be doing basically 2 things. You're going to be gathering intel, which is basically pulling public cards from the stockpile. These are additional cards that you're going to use for your second action, which is your inquiry action. This is the core of the game.
These are the crux of the game, for sure.
Yeah. So basically, you have different types of inquiries you can do. You can just guess what the person's number is.
Right.
Obviously, in the beginning of the game.
Between 1 to 20.
Yeah, so obviously, in the beginning of the game, not going to be very successful.
You could go for it.
Yeah, but probably not going to hit
it.
You can have a set of 3 matching cards where you have basically a 1 set of 2, or a 1 icon, 2 icon, 3 icons, and they all have to contain the same icon that you're doing.
Like submarine on each of the one. It has to be on the card at least once out of the 3 cards.
Right, and so then you can show that, and then if that's on the matching agent's arm, they'll say, yes, that's on there. Each of those things are worth 1 point, and if you need 2 points to win the game. Yeah. So you're incentivized to focus on that.
Right, and then if it is, right, then you're checking off on your little sheet that these are no longer what you need.
Right, so you can guess wrong, it's still useful.
Narrowing down the suspect.
The pool. But there's a more efficient way to do that.
There is.
Yeah. And that's where we get to the public and the private inquiry actions.
Yeah, so like for public, then everybody gets to see what you're like asking. So you'll lay out your cards in front and be like, is this your symbol that was on your an identification card, right? The person says yes or no.
Right.
Or they can be silent.
Yes.
Which I thought was really cool. You cannot say anything at all, and you just give them one of your cards randomly. Right. Just like, take a card from me. I'm not going to answer your questions.
Right. So it hurts them on future turns, but it keeps that, I'm not going to be able to tell you. So
you stonewall them.
Again, more thematic. Like sometimes you don't know the information even when inquiring.
You're like sitting at the park bench, right, with your envelope. You don't know the person, and you just walk away.
Exactly. You don't know if that information's real or not, though.
Right. Yeah.
So the other thing you do is private actions. This is kind of a cool way they did this. So the idea is you give them 2 of your cards, and they'll look at it, and you'll say, okay, are any of these symbols on the cards?
And you have to pick depending on the letter.
Right.
A, B.
Right. So are there any of the positions of your agent? Because your agent has 3 different icon positions. Yeah. And so you look at all of them, and of course, the more you give them, the more likely it's there, but the less concrete information you have. So it's kind of an interesting little balance. So if it's a yes, then what they'll do is they'll put under the table, and they'll give the cards back to you, and one side will be face up and one side will be face down, and that's an accept. So you know, but nobody else at the table knows.
Right, but then the person also doesn't know it's one of the 2 or one of the 3 cards, so you're still not getting like a genuine answer.
But if it's wrong and it's not there, you put them back or face to face and give them back. You give them back, and that person knows that those symbols are nowhere in that position, which probably is more valuable.
I think it's more valuable.
Yeah, it's more valuable.
Because you can check off more boxes with the no than with the yes.
Right. So the last thing about this is that spying card.
I love the spying card.
Yeah, spying card's so good.
Just wish you had more of them.
Yeah, you only have one. So on this one, you take your spying card, and any time so it could be your turn, opponent's turn, whenever it is, you can pull any card in the inquiry stockpile. Right. So if you really need that card that just faced up, you can grab that. Then you have to throw away your spy card.
Yeah.
Or at the beginning of the game, there's also 3 agent cards that are put face down.
Is it a vault?
Yeah. I think it's
the vault.
Safe vault or something like
safe
that.
vault.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of it. It's a bunch of information.
Or it's been information. So you look at it yourself, look at it, put it back face down.
It does help. Like when we played, Jason was destroying me, and I was like, I'm going to use my spy. I'm going to look inside the vault, and I got to see 3 different cards with the number on it, right? Mm-hmm. And I can, on my sheet, deduce, check it off, and then, it's just very helpful.
Now, one thing I really like about the game is that just because your agent is pulled and revealed, you're not out of the game. That's really nice.
That was a good touch.
I really like that.
For sure.
Because, again, you have to get those 2 points, and if you're playing with lots of people, sure, your agent was revealed, but that person may have 1 point, so you could still
win
and try to figure out other agents. And I really like that.
Because who wants to be kicked out of a game and they sit in there while everyone else is playing?
Yeah.
So definitely awesome characteristic, I would say.
Really.
But yeah, we had a blast playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think at 5 players it would get a little bit more like crazy, where everyone's like
crunchy.
Scrambling for like trying to figure each other out and like because like when we played, I would figure it out, and then I didn't notice that my finger was covering the one I had a guess on.
You guessed wrong.
I guessed wrong. So you get a guess every turn if you want to, but if you guess incorrectly, your turn's done.
Over. Yep.
So there's that like weight to it. But yeah, it's a complete blast. It's coming out on the Kickstarter on November 1st. Mm-hmm. So definitely check them out. The link will be in the bio. As always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and name any fun fact for the Cold War that...
So many of them.
So many.
Or don't name them.
Right.
We don't want to know.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Or tell us who your favorite spy is. James Bond.
Yeah, James Bond all the way.
Sean Connery.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Check you next time.